virtual Zoom class. And I figured I would go live on a few different platforms, let you guys hang out with me for a few minutes. If I can get my internet to start rolling. Jeez. What is up, George? What's up, Damien? Also, as you guys are jumping in, I am currently live on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And I am trying to get my internet rolling so that I can start a live Zoom call that I am doing right now. Let's see if that'll work. Also, as you guys are jumping in, our next virtual event is this Friday. It is called Pipeline Playbook. It's only $9. It is the purpose of that event, by the way, is to get you to where you are able to get in front of more people more consistently. And so fill your pipeline every week with prospects. And so that is this Friday, starts at 9 a.m. Central. You can go to 8%nation.com, click on virtual in the menu when you get to 8%nation.com, and let's see if this will work. And then you can get registered for that specific virtual event. Let's see if I can figure it out this way. What's up, Randy? What's up, Tony? Get a little light coming in from the, I'm about to jump on and do host a private Zoom. I'm actually trying to get into it right now, but having a little trouble. Oh, cool. Let's try that. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday. Again, I'm about to do a live training class. Also, let's see. Oh, here we go. Also, our next virtual event, you can hang out and listen to this live Zoom I'm about to do, but also our next virtual event is this, our next 8% virtual event is this Friday. It starts at 9 a.m. Central. It's called Pipeline Playbook. You can go to 8%nation.com, click on virtual in the menu to register. I think right now it's still only $9, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's one of the ways for you to register for this specific virtual event that is starting on Friday. Also, as you're joining, I'm just about to jump on and do a live Zoom. I'm trying to get into the Zoom right now. I think I just figured out my LastPass, which is the password software that we use to keep all of our passwords. All right, let's start it now. Let's start it now. I don't know if I'll let you guys hang on the whole time or not.
Recording in progress.
What is up, you guys? Happy Sunday. Sorry for starting a few minutes late. I've been trying to get into my LastPass, which is what we use to keep track of all of our passwords. And it did not like me logging in from my house, I don't think. So what is up, you guys? Happy Sunday. Hope you're doing amazing. What's up, Geneva? What's up, Holly? What's up, James? What's up, Steve? What's up, Thorne? What's up, Clay, Justin, Jacob, William, Johnny, Griffin, Jeb, Jessica, Patrick? What's up, Pat Holder? Jamie just jumped in, man. I'm excited for tonight. If you are also excited for tonight's Generate More Leads class and you've been anticipating this, give me a me in chat. I'm gonna need your help tonight. I'm gonna definitely go, it says a 75-minute class. starting 4 minutes late. My apologies, so I'll make sure I make that up, and we will make sure we deliver. I've done this specific class probably for the last 6, 7, 8 months. We've gotten a ton of phenomenal feedback when we've done this class, and so I'm going to be doing this live with you. We have done this specific class before. We've had a bunch of really good feedback. A bunch of the people that actually attended this class ended up in our Social Selling Insiders private coaching program for a year, where we coach agents and agency owners on how to use social media and ads to generate leads. And so this specific class tonight is broken down into 2 different parts: social media, which will be organic, video, etc. Also ads with advertising. Also, as you guys are jumping in, this is a lead generation class. We're going to teach you how to use video, social, and ads to generate leads and get in front of people. And so my request is videos on, as I want you to get used to your camera being on, because I'm going to be talking about video, strategies with video ads, different things you can do in your business to generate leads, and having your camera on is a good first step. Becoming comfortable with the camera, by the way, too. Like, who is on here and you can say that you're not totally comfortable on a camera yet? If that is you, give it also another me in chat if you're like, dude, I get it. I know I need to be better at camera. I need to be more comfortable on camera, but I am not totally as comfortable as I need to be using a camera and a phone yet. Perfect, amazing, good to see you guys. Also, what do you guys think about doing this on a Sunday? I normally do this on like a Monday or Tuesday night, but we're doing 3 classes this week, and so I kind of like Sundays personally. I was watching NBA. I was at church this morning. I'm kind of a fan of Sundays. Cool. Yeah, I think it's easy to get people's attention, people to join a class, get people to hang out. Most people are never doing anything but at Sundays at like 4 o'clock Central Time for sure. Also, I'm guessing that everyone is on this. Monday is for selling. Amen, Pat. Amen. I'm guessing everybody was in our Oklahoma City roadshow. Is that fair to say? By show of hands, yes, you were at OKC. Cool. Also, man, what an amazing roadshow. What's funny is I got somebody that was in San Antonio, and they got offended because I said that this specific roadshow was our best roadshow ever. And they saw the video of me talking about that in Oklahoma City, and they're like, what about San Antonio, bro? I thought you liked San Antonio. I'm like, dude, I love San Antonio, but OKC was just that much better. So kudos to you guys. We had a phenomenal roadshow. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And I appreciate you guys being on. Again, welcome to tonight's class. We're going to go about 75 minutes. We're going to do part 1 is social media. Part 2 is going to be ads. Okay. As you guys have questions, feel free to jump in chat. I got some stuff I'm going to share on the Zoom screen as we go through this. Also, towards the end, I'm going to be inviting you, full transparency, I'm going to be inviting you to join a Social Selling Insiders coaching program that we do to help people that are wanting to learn social media, that are wanting to learn ads, that are wanting to be part of a community to spend an entire year learning all those different things. And we'll talk about that later. Also, bonuses, again, that I promised you. We promised you an 8% Nation executive ticket for signing up for this class while you were in OKC. So thank you for doing that. I will make sure that you get access. The team that was with me was off work. We got back about 11 p.m. Thursday night. They were off on Friday. The 3 team members that were with me will be back in tomorrow. And so we'll make sure you get your ticket, 8% Nation executive ticket this week. Okay. And then also, if you were one of the first 10 to register early in the day, you also get upgraded to Premier. Not sure who those are, but we'll find that out tomorrow as well. And so an executive ticket is the first bonus that you got. The value of that's about $250. And so you got that included. Again, that's July 7th through the 10th. If you're putting that in your calendar and reserving those days, July 7th, we have a welcome, we have a golf tournament and a welcome social. The 8th and 9th are all day. Roundtables, breakouts, expert panels, main stage, lunch, party at night, all day on day 2 and 3. And the last day we end about 1 o'clock, and then we transition to some champagne and charcuterie, which is always fun. And so that's the conference, 8% Nation ticket, July 7th to the 10th in Plano. That's the first bonus. Second bonus that we promised you is that you would get a $99 Kaboom credit as well. And that I would be providing you a code tonight to give you $99 off of your next order of Kaboom leads. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. for $99 in Kaboom credit. And that code is right there in chat. And also that code that I just put, the 3 letters that I just put for this, expires in 30 days on May the 27th. It'll allow you to use that code one time for the next 30 days, and it is maxed out at 1 per user that is already previously signed up. And so again, that code is available for the next 30 days at kaboomleads.com. Any questions on the bonuses or the structure of this before I jump into the content? As I have a bunch of freaking content to go over, there's a good chance I go long because I'm cramming probably about 2 to 3 hours of material into 75 minutes. So any questions before we get started? What's up, Thomas? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Jeb? What's up, Frank? Amazing. What's up, Griffin? All right, cool. So also too, there's a massive nugget and a massive tool that most people are unaware of. I bet 99% of the people that I speak to on Zoom have never heard about this incredibly amazing tool to help you dominate when it comes to ads and spy on all of your competition. I'm going to be sharing that in about 50 to 60 minutes, just full transparency, and not yet, but it's one of the highlights of the night, and you'll get to see it here in a little bit, okay? Also, and tons more that I won't have time to share tonight, but I'm going to give away as much as I possibly can. Okay, so part 1, let's jump right in. Part 1 is social media. Okay, it's related regarding social. You want to take a bunch of notes tonight as we hang out. But part 1 is social. The first note I want to mention, and I'm eventually going to share some slides, and I've even got a little whiteboard since I'm not in my office tonight, a little mini whiteboard that I carry in my backpack at all times, by the way, at all times. Are you more excited about the social piece or the ads piece? Put that, we're going to go over both, but that's part 1 and part 2. But put that in chat. Are you more excited about the social piece or the ads piece? Or, hey, maybe both, right? Maybe both, okay? Cool. A little bit of a mix, man. Let's go, man. A little bit of a mix. That's great. So, very first piece when it comes to social. Okay, this is a big note because most people overcomplicate everything they do. Simplification equals multiplication. Simplification equals multiplication. The simpler that you can keep something, the more successful you have a chance of the idea becoming. In our business, the faster we go from idea, the more successful the idea is every single time. The more I add time, the less successful the idea is every single time I do it, right? And so simplification equals multiplication. Also, question, I think this is one of the most important parts in the ways to start, is who are you speaking to? Okay, who are you speaking to? Like if you think about who is your niche or your niche, right? You can jump in chat and let me know what that is. Who is your niche? Who is your niche? Like who do you focus on? Like as an example, when you saw my video ads or graphics for the conference, or when you're seeing stuff we're producing every day, we focus on insurance agents, right? At this point, we focus on insurance agents. That is my niche or my focus. And a lot of times we help agents and agency owners, no matter how long they've been in the business, but a lot of times we end up helping people that are brand, even brand new, right? That's a specialty that we really focus on when we put out 10,000 videos online. So the question for you is, who is your niche? I would love for you to share what that is. Who is your niche? As you think through that, who do you focus on, right? So Geneva says seniors over 50. I love that. So she says seniors ages 50 plus. And in her example, a lot of it along the way, even though I know she's adding another product line, has been really life insurance, with the sub-segment of life insurance being final expense, right? So seniors, 50 plus, final expense, life insurance, and she is seeing individuals, large majority of the time, I imagine, just because I know Orca that she works with, is, if you think about that, majority of the people she's seeing people that are local, or she's driving to them, and she is seeing them face to face, and majority of her prospecting is through door knocking, right? So she's really niched down what she does and how she does it. So when somebody says ACA or Medicare or life, like here's an example, I shared with you guys at the roadshow that we had a couple. Their names are Hunter and Emily Palmer. They came to 8%, our 8% conference, as you can see that in the background today. I was like, why not, right? Why not? They came to 8% conference in 2021. They weren't making I don't think they were making even 8 or 10 grand a month. They're now doing over $100,000 a month. Here's their niche, okay? And they came to the conference. They joined Power Players. That's our mastermind, and we've hung out multiple times every year for the last 3.5 years. Their niche is life insurance, but it's life insurance for certain ages, and it's life insurance for a certain category of individuals, certain type of occupation. So in their example, their category is of occupation is truckers, right? Life insurance for truckers. That's kind of a niche. That's a focus that they have figured out works for them. I don't know what that is for you, but as we go through social and ads tonight, I want you to think about your niche because it is very, very, very important. Again, I said at the roadshow the other night, if you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to who? If you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking, that's right, Jeb, no one, right? No one, okay? So if you try to speak to everyone, you end up speaking to no one, which is why when we're diving into this Zoom tonight, I'm talking about how to speak to a certain type of individual, right? Or a certain person, okay? So when we talk through who you see, the biggest piece of this, okay, is we break down how to do content. I'm gonna get into video formulas and a few other things in a few seconds. But when we think through how to get in front of people with content, here's what you're really doing, okay? When you're doing content, here's what's really happening. You're doing research, and I'm gonna explain that. You are also on Zoom. This is coming through correctly, right? You can read it correctly. It kind of like flips it, I think. Yeah. Okay, cool. I was doing a live this weekend and everything was backwards. It's wild. Okay, cool. Thank you both. So research. Then you are recording the video. Then you are editing. These are the steps to content, by the way. Okay. And I'm going to add another one tonight where you're also going and engaging. So when I share this, okay, research, record, edit, post, and engage. Research, record, edit, post, and engage. The first part is research. What I mean by research is you need to find, if you're going to shoot content, you need to go find content that is already done well in your niche. That's why we started with the niche. Then you find people in your niche that are already producing content that is doing well, that people are already watching, people are already consuming, it's already being found. Like if you're using YouTube, they're already finding the content. They're finding it through SEO. They're clicking on the video, right? And so research is very important because most people always wonder what they should talk about. You should never wonder what to talk about. You should only find stuff that has worked and shoot the exact same title as what somebody else is already doing, right? I've got that example of I don't think I shared it on here yet, but remind me, I've got a bunch of videos where I found titles that already worked in our industry that had 1 million views in 9 years, and then I shot the exact same title. Now I had different content inside of it, but I shot the exact same title. Again, that's finding stuff that's worked in a niche that you want to help, and then you're shooting. Now you should do the content in the video a little differently. However, that's the research piece. People, the biggest hurdle, would you agree? The biggest hurdle for most people is they do not know what to record. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to talk about. Does that make sense? Right? That's a big hurdle for most people. And so what I train people to do is to do research so that you don't have to wonder if something's going to work or not. It's already worked for somebody else. As long as you do a good job, it should work for you. Does that make sense? It takes a lot of the guesswork out. My goal tonight is for when we're done spending 75 minutes together, you get all this content and then you're able to go and, like a lot of people that are in our Social Selling Insiders program or been to our roadshows or been on this class, they start generating leads within days, right? Let's talk about the Angela Taylor story. She made 90 grand in 4.5 months. Now it took her a month or two after this class to get to where everything was flowing. But then guess what? After that, 90 grand in the next 4.5 months because of this specific class, right? Because she started doing research, which is big. Then you start recording the content. We'll get into video formulas in a second. After you record the content, you edit the content. What editing means is you want to make sure that the content has a good start. It's got captions. Audio sounds good, obviously. Captions or text on screen. And I'll get into the reason why that's big in a little bit, in about 10, 20 minutes. Most people don't know there's a big reason for that. And then it needs to have a good close, right? And what I mean by the good start, which we'll get into the video formula in a second, is, you're not saying, hey, my name is James Williams, and I'm with Oklahoma Insurance Group, and hope you're having a great day. Thanks for being here. You guys are amazing. Wow, it's sunny. Happy Sunday. Very cool. If you like this, tell your friends. And then 18 seconds, we haven't hooked anyone. There's no really good start. Does that make sense? Okay. Also, am I choppy, or can you guys see me and hear me okay? Good. Okay, cool. I feel like you guys are cutting out, so it could be me, could be you, could be all of us. Who knows? Okay. So record, then edit. Edit. When I talk about captions, I'll talk about that in a little bit. But captions is where you're adding text on screen. I'll share why that's important. So like the words I'm saying right now would be showing up on the screen, and you guys have seen that in video content already. Then you're posting the content. I post on, and I'll get into this a little bit more. I post to 6 different platforms every single day: YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X, which is Twitter. I post at least one video to 6 different platforms every single day. My team, we white label it, but the raw software we use is called Cloud Campaign. And my team uses Cloud Campaign to distribute the content to 6 different platforms at the same time. Okay, and so then after we post, we're engaging the content. Has anybody ever posted a video? Actually, you know what? Have you ever commented on somebody's post and then they don't respond? You ask a question, or you engaged, or you liked it, and you made a comment, and they just didn't do anything. Well, we're struggling to keep up with all the comments we get across all the platforms, full transparency. So we are trying. It drives me on to comments, like it literally eats me up. However, engaging in comments and responding back tells Instagram or TikTok or whatever that you are engaged in the content, that it's good content, and that they should continue to recommend the content to other people. Does that make sense? And that you're actually engaging and trying, right? It's kind of like trying to overcome objections when you get them, right? So engaging. Now, when we talk through some of these things, here's one of the easiest ways to record content. Who's kind of worried and scared to record content? Give me a 1 in chat if you are kind of nervous or scared to record content. Okay, if you are a little bit nervous to record content. One of the things that we do is I use an app called Teleprompter. It's an app on a phone, and what's cool about it is on the Teleprompter app, I can put in text on the phone, like a script. So when I shoot ads, I typically follow a script, right? And so I can put a script in the app. And then I can click play, and the script will roll on the screen while I'm talking to the camera, right? So it's literally when you saw those video ads of me talking about the 8% Roadshow in Oklahoma City, I was literally reading on the screen, and it was as it was rolling down the screen. Hey, insurance agents in Oklahoma City, we will be there April the 24th. If you are in the area and you would like to learn, right, whatever, right? I'm literally reading a script on screen that is moving down the screen as I am talking. And then I'm exporting the video, sending it to my team. That's what I do. They add captions, any B-roll or whatever, and then boom, we post it, right? And then we have an ad. So, but that Teleprompter app has been huge for me. It simplifies it for those, because as an example, ChatGPT can give you video scripts. Do I tweak the ones it gives me? Yeah, we do most of the time. But ChatGPT can give you some video scripts that can work. Okay, that can definitely work, right? So the Teleprompter app has been huge. Also, when it comes to my video formula, when I'm using a teleprompter and recording content, my video formula is this. My video formula is hook, story, offer. Now, I mentioned this briefly at Oklahoma City Roadshow, but what I talked about is hook, story, offer. You get, like as an example, How long do you give a video before you scroll past it? Put in comments how many seconds you will give a video before you scroll past it, right? Like how long will you give a video? 3 seconds, like 5 seconds, 3 to 5, 3, depends, 3 seconds, 3 to 4. Yeah. Not a lot, right? I'm probably, and also everybody's brain moves differently. Some days my brain moves a little slower and maybe I do give it 5 seconds. Maybe some days my brain's like firing on all cylinders. Like this morning I got up and I stretched. I went for a run, did some push-ups, all those things to like get my brain moving this morning before I went to church and served at the welcome desk on the info team and greeted people, right? Which is a lot of fun, by the way. I needed this morning my brain was moving like, dude, I would have been scrolling every like half second, second and a half, right? Because my brain was moving. The goal of the hook is to get people to stop. So you got to ask yourself, what can I say or do to get them to stop? Is there a statement? Is there a question? Is there something happening, right? Like I'll give you an example. I don't know that I did this video, but I did a video for promoting a virtual conference. We have our next virtual conference this Friday. Starts at 9 a.m. and it's called Pipeline Playbook, about prospecting. And I did our 8% virtual probably back in like 2020, I think. And I was trying to get people's attention. I needed a hook. So what I did is I found an old computer and an old monitor. And as soon as they clicked play, I just slammed the monitor and the computer on the ground as hard as I possibly could. And it just shattered into pieces right in front of the camera, right? Well, guess what? That was a pretty good hook. Now, is that a little extreme, a little aggressive, a little outlandish? Yes, guilty as charged, right? However, it was a hook. Like if you saw an ad of me and I was slamming computers, would you stop at least and watch it? Now you'd think this dude is a little nuts, a little crazy. And I will admit, I'm still crazy, but 28-year-old Cody was even more crazy than maybe 34-year-old Cody. However, it was a hook that got people to stop. Okay. Now, are you turning 65 in the next 6 months? Right. Again, a hook. Okay. Story is you're bringing value or you're connecting with them or you're giving them data or information, right? What's the story that draws them in? Okay, draws them in. How do you draw them in? What does that look like? Right? With the story portion of drawing them in. So you got to what could you guys share as a good hook? Put in chat what you think a decent hook would be. If you're like, hey, I need to captivate someone and I need to get them to stop, I need to get their attention. What's a good hook? What could a good hook be if you were trying to use a hook to get somebody's attention? How expensive are your medications? Good. Does Medicare confuse you? Yes, the answer is yes, it does, Johnny. Yes, it does, right? Yeah, good. Are you receiving 400 pieces of mail every single week talking about Medicare? Do you just take all of that Medicare mail and throw it in the trash, or do you keep it all? What do you do with all of it, right? Has your homeowner's insurance skyrocketed? Good. Yeah, and guess what? It probably has went up, Do you only have life insurance through your job? Yes, let's go, Holly. I love that. Yes, so if you think about that, Angela Taylor started focusing on that. That was a big focus for her. So hook, story, offer. Most people are decent here. Okay, and also if you're not getting views and people are not watching them and your audience is not growing, what does that tell you? Before I go back to this, if you're not getting views, people aren't watching it, they're not staying on, they're not captivated, they're not continuing. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Honestly, like what do you think it tells you? Okay? What do you think it tells you? If people are not watching the content, they're not engaging with your content, you're not getting views, probably need to change, didn't hook them. You know what I think? Bad hook. All true, by the way. But you know what maybe this is taking it too personal, but you know what I say? I was too boring. I could not keep their attention, man. I go back to blaming myself for sure. But I tell my team, I wasn't good enough. You know, like I get off stages all the time and I'm like, dang it, I could have done better. I didn't keep their attention. They weren't engaged. Like, dude, I mean, honestly, low energy is a good one, by the way, right? Like that's always a concern of mine. I feel like I kept your attention at the Oklahoma City Roadshow better than I ever have at a roadshow. Okay, but just between the two of us and our 20 other closest friends, right? Like, and guess what? But I've had to get better along the way. You know, like I used to leave road shows and tours back in the day. Like we had 6 people show up in New Orleans back in 2019. And I used to leave of tours and events and be like, gosh, dang it, dude. Like these people are boring. No. It was me, man. It was me, right? I was the boring one. Okay. So hook, story, offer. That's the formula. Now, here's what I want to show you to make you feel a little better about your life. Okay. I'm going to show you a YouTube video that actually was my very first YouTube video ever. If you've seen what my very first YouTube video ever was, type yes in chat or no if you have never seen it. Okay, so I'm going to show you what my very first ever. Wow, so many no's. Amazing. Okay, I'm not saying I enjoy showing this, by the way, but I am going to show it. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to play about 15 seconds, and then you let me know what you think. Okay, it's called How to Be a Successful New Insurance Agent. I posted it 9 years ago. It's got 5,000 views in 9 years, which isn't bad, by the way, right? But here it is. Thing is training. Hi, my name is Cody Askins, and welcome to Cody Askins' YouTube channel. Please subscribe below. Today, we're going to go over the 6 things that every new insurance agent needs to be successful. The first thing is training. Boring. All right, what did you notice in chat? What did you notice? What did you pick up on? Okay, from that. What do you notice about Cody now versus Cody then? Let's just use that as an example, right? As you literally listen to that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is insane. I hate listening to that. Whatever, right? Like whatever. And it's still raw, but it's real though. You know. Hi, my name is yes. Terrible. No hook. 100%. Angle, lighting, tone, expressiveness, low energy, low confidence, energy change, a personal approach now. Okay, great. I need to be more personal, right? Which is great. Failure into success. Hey, man. So is it bad? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'll take it, right? We'll take it. But it does suck. I will give you that. It does suck, right? Also, too, if I look at what has happened all time, right? I show you, but I did get started. And again, it was, hey, you know, how to be successful as an agent. A better hook would have been, by the way, if you're struggling as an agent, do not keep scrolling. You have to watch this video as I give you tips to help to make sure you succeed right away, right? Again, it's so much different, okay? So much different. Now, here's a now for those that are like, dude, what's possible with YouTube? Well, here's an example. YouTube has paid me, in this box here, you can see it, right? We've had 44 million total views. YouTube has paid me $323,992, so $324,000 since December 29th of 2015, right? So it's also, we've also made money. It's at least paid for maybe it's paid for an employee once a year, almost. Our employees they're more expensive now because they're really good, but you get the idea, right? However, it was that the goal though? No, but that was a sub segment of doing content, you know, that doesn't suck, right? Which is cool. Let me jump into, I've got several slides I want to share that have some phenomenal content that I want to jump into before we get to the ads portion, okay? If you've enjoyed this so far and you've learned something, give me a yes in chat. If you have enjoyed this so far, you're learning some stuff, you're like, man, dude, this was well worth the price of admission. I'm glad I'm here. Let's go, man. Look at you guys, dude. I love it. Very cool. Very cool. I really enjoyed doing this class, by the way, as well. Again, like I said, I've been doing this specific type of class since probably October for the different people that come to our road shows, which is cool. So All right, let me pull up the chat again so I can see what's going on, and then I'm going to get back to this. Okay, so I'm going to dive in a little bit deeper when it comes to like stats and, oh, amazing, Johnny. Thank you, buddy. So this is generating more leads through social. Number one, consistent posting of valuable content. Social media posts that provide educational content like tips on insurance planning or saving money can see a 77% increase in engagement compared to purely promotional posts. Right? That's an issue for a lot of people. Okay, is that they struggle to give tips and educate. They just ramble and talk for no reason. Right? Well, at the end of the day, dude, I need to keep people's attention, and I need to get to where I'm providing educational information and tips for them. Does that make sense? Okay. Second, agents who post consistently can grow their audience and become recognized experts. You see that? That's important. Insurance posts that mix educational tips with personal stories see better engagement, higher leads over time. What's really cool about that, the key point in all of this is personal stories. You have personal stories that have happened to you in your life. Like, okay, one of the things I shared with all of you at the Oklahoma City Roadshow that I've never shared at a roadshow before. It was one story that I've never shared at a roadshow before. What do you think that story was? What do you think that was? Any guesses on what the story was that was very personal, vulnerable, that I've never shared before at a roadshow? I probably shared it at a couple events, very rare, maybe never online. First roadshow I've ever shared this at. First, and I think it's because I just felt comfortable with you guys. Yes, Johnny is right. Me being blind in my left eye is accurate, by the way. Good guess. Yes, that's very personal. You know, there's things that have happened to you in your life that you don't want to share. You need to be vulnerable and transparent and personal, because it is important, right? Would you agree? Like when I open up about stuff that I'm going through or things we've been through or stuff that I don't normally want to share, does it allow you and I to connect on a deeper level as human beings? Would you agree with that? Does that make sense? A lot of people struggle with that. Okay, so again, getting better at that is important. Next slide. How often should you post content to social? Well, to maximize reach and engagement, you should aim to post 5 to 7 short form videos per week across all major platforms, which include Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter/X, YouTube, and even LinkedIn as well. Which is why, again, we post a minimum of 7 short forms times 6 platforms. That's 42 short videos per week. And we also post at least 3 to 4 long form as well. So I'm posting about 45 to 50 pieces of content per week, not counting our emails. Who gets an email from us every single day now because you're on our email list, right? Like, guess what? Those are examples of content for you. You know, examples of content, okay? Number 2, leveraging short form video content. 80% of all mobile data is now consumed through video, with TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Instagram Reels driving high engagement across demographics. 80% of all mobile data is video. Agents using short form videos can explain by the way, explain complex topics simply. Medicare is very complex, as an example. IUL can be complex. Annuity can be complex, right? Homeowners insurance can be, and commercial, whatever, can be complex. Agents who can explain the topic simply, show their personality. That's a very important piece to this. Most people, you saw my personality. Did my personality come out at all in the first 15 seconds of my first video ever? No, I had no personality. It was terrible. It was boring. I go now and I'm like, Cody, what were you doing? Right? Complex topic simply, show their personality, and gain more leads. Okay, so videos that simplify insurance concepts are shared far more frequently, reaching a broader audience. So you got to think about, how can I simplify things? And it's not all just personal and it's not all just business either. Why are short form videos better? Short form videos generate high engagement rates, with viewers being more likely to remember a message delivered in a smaller video format. Crazy stat. One of the biggest and most important stats of the night. If you hear anything, hear this. 85% of videos on social media are watched on mute. 85% of videos watched on social media are watched on mute. Who can attest to that? Like, you pick up your phone, you start watching videos, and then in your video, your volume's down, but then you like a video, so you turn the volume up because you want to hear it. right? I do this, whether I'm watching them in the living room or in my bed or the office or at an event. If you're ever scrolling, most people are scrolling on mute. Why is it important? Because adding captions to your videos are very important. Knowing that most people are watching on mute, which means there's no volume. That's why CapCut and other tools, we go over a lot of this stuff way more in depth in our Insiders program. We have about 120 agents in our Insiders program from all over the world, and we train on tools and a lot of other stuff. I'll tell you about that later. But CapCut has been a popular tool within that community to add captions to your videos. Okay. Number 3, showcase client success stories and testimonials. You do this by highlighting real life stories of how your services have benefited clients. Have you guys, how often did I play a video testimonial from somebody when we were together in Oklahoma City? Right? Quite a bit. If you watch my Instagram stories and you follow me on Instagram, gosh, I hope you are, then guess what am I doing? I'm posting like literally on my story earlier today and yesterday, I shared 2 different wins of people who were winning with our Kaboom leads, and I share their story, right? I mean, Geneva's doing so well with our Kaboom leads. I need her to shoot a short form video, vertical on her cell phone, talking about how much success she's having with Kaboom, right? Guess what? You should be having people do more of that because it showcases what you're doing is working. Okay, so when you meet with clients at the end, maybe it's, hey, I'm sitting here with Betty. She is so amazing. We've been able to help Betty with some final expense life insurance. Betty, what would you say to anyone who is hesitant about meeting with our company? Oh, they typically say nice stuff because people are, typically nice, right? Betty would say, oh, it was amazing. Geneva was really nice. You all didn't meet with her. She was able to help us with our life insurance, right? Et cetera, et cetera. Okay. 2% of people, online reviews and testimonials as much as personal recommendations, okay? Which is a huge stat. And you can turn testimonials into short form videos with captions to get maximum impact. Okay. Love it. So showcasing client success stories. Here's our script, by the way, when it comes to getting testimonials from clients. Timing is really important. Emphasize the impact about the positive experience they've had and how that testimony will help others. Make it easier for them to record it. I normally record it with people, or I just put a camera in their face and ask them a couple of questions, right? That could be important. Okay, that's how you make it easy. I also love to provide a script. Here's our script that our videographers came up with that they use when they get testimonials from clients. What problems were you trying to solve before working with us? Well, I was trying to get my insurance taken care of, or I was trying to find leads that worked. Okay. And how did Kaboom Leads help you? Oh my gosh, my other lead vendor was terrible. Kaboom Leads is amazing. I started making all this money. Wow, Kaboom Leads, you guys are incredible. I made $8,000 last month. Oh my gosh. And what would you tell others who would considering working with us? I would tell them that you should get off the fence and you should go work with them because my experience was amazing. Kaboom, right? Like again, there's a script and it keeps you and them on track for what you're saying and doing. Number 5, show appreciation. Let them know their testimony was valued and offer a thank you gesture of some kind. Okay, of some kind. I'm going to get into ads later. So, which piece did you enjoy the most? Number 1, which was consistent posting, talk about platforms. This one was leveraging short form video content with some stats, 85% on mute. Third one was testimonials and the script. Out of 1, 2, or 3, which one did you see the most value from as we just went through those 3 items right now? I would love to know of those 3. Thomas says 2. Jamie says the 85% stat. Yeah, that was wild, by the way. 1, 2. Okay, cool. Education and story, showing personality. Excellent. And what's been your guys' also, I'm way behind on time. I'm going to try to pick it up a little, but I want to make sure it's valuable and good as well. So what has been your favorite part so far? What's been your favorite part so far? From everything you've heard for the first 40-ish minutes, what has been your favorite part so far out of everything that we've discussed, out of everything you've heard, everything, and what are you most likely to implement? What's been your biggest takeaway? Because I'm about to transition to ads. for another 20, 30 minutes, right? What has been your favorite part so far? 85% stat. Can you put one back up really quick? Yes, I can. Why not? Oh, did I put it up? Am I showing? Are you seeing number one, or are you seeing something different? Let's see. Yes, one is up. Okay, let me go back. All right, I'll show it for a quick second, and then I'm going to jump to the next piece. What else we got in chat? Teleprompter, good. Teleprompters helped me a lot with ads, by the way. Like I was in the parking lot, and I was in front of the Mercedes Sprinter in the parking lot of our office, shooting an ad on a teleprompter that was scrolling in front of the camera for a 8% video ad just recently. The hook, do research and use it. Yes, it tells you a lot of what you should be doing. Captions, got to up my consistency. Hey man, Amy, love that. Seeing how you do your ads and that they're scripted, it helps. And do I have to script an ad? No, but to be honest, I've learned they just do better because I hit the things I need to hit. Because it's hard. I don't know if it's easy for you guys. It is hard for me to remember 60 seconds worth of stuff, and then just go deliver it. Like I'm a little better off the cuff, but if I can just read and incorporate my personality and add some flavor, my own flavor, if you will, it helps a lot. It makes it a lot easier. Your quick method using teleprompter app and ChatGPT. Yeah, doing the basics. That's the best way to learn. Also, cool, appreciate that. Also, if you think that this has been better than you expected so far, give me a yes in chat before I jump into part 2 of advertising with my notes on the right side of my screen. Okay. All right, perfect. Let's dive in. Okay, let's jump in first, the advertising process. I think that's really important. Okay, it's advertising process. Also, if you're enjoying this, you're gonna love and when I explain social selling insiders in a little bit so that we can keep helping you learn, because these types of things, when it comes to marketing, prospecting, lead generation, ads,